What up, YouTube? We are back in the garage. I am getting tired of just talking on these videos. As far as it seems like I always get sidetracked and start talking, so I'm gonna try not to do that in this video. I am going to just put in the work and get to work. So last video though, before we do that, last video we had gotten to this point on the Jeep. I had mentioned that I had a buyer for the for the motor and trans. So what we're going to be doing today is pulling out the engine and trans. But before we do that, we're going to pop off these fenders, and I'm just going to start doing some wiring removal. You know, the fuse box up there. So pretty much I'm just going to put you guys on time lapse and cue the time lapse right now. As you can see, the fenders are all off. We have access to everything. So, man, amazing. I do think that I will be cutting off the motor mounts right here when we go to mock up the new one. But, yeah, I mean, it's just way too easy this way. I'm super stoked. I am going to probably take off the exhaust flange there. This right here, it's some kind of like maybe the evap system or something. I shouldn't need that with the new build, so I can pull most all of that off. Same with the ECU, which was right here. Sat right here with the main ECU harness going in. This was for, I believe, some of the like lights and stuff like that. Plugged into this right one. So I probably will still use this because it's a good like bulkhead sort of deal, but we can go ahead and start stripping off all this wiring, and that leaves us with a very good start. We can disconnect the hoses here. So that's kind of what we're gonna do now, is just kind of go through here. We're gonna have to disconnect the starter wire and kind of just go through all this. So I probably will trash this. I won't need it, and I'll probably end up making my own fuse box exactly where I want it, so it's nice and clean. My cousin did that on his truck and it turned out perfect, really nice. So that's where we're at. I'm very excited at this point, like just ecstatic that it's coming the way it's coming. So we're gonna be getting this cleaned up. Because the Jeep has a 3-inch body lift, it kind of works out perfect. Another guy I know that did the 6BT swap said he had a 3-inch body lift as well, and he had no issues with the, if you look how much space is back there, there's tons of space. So with the Cummins bell housing, he didn't have any issues with it hitting the bottom of the Jeep, so I shouldn't have to mess with that either. So very stoked about that. But let's get back to work. Nothing to it but to do it. So we're hitting it hard again. Look right through here, I've got the front drive shaft out, and we'll crawl underneath. All right, so up under here you can see the transmission is hanging. I've got the cross brace out. I still need to take off the rear drive shaft right there. You can see this one still has the cat, so I'll try to keep this exhaust intact and sell the whole exhaust. I need to empty out the oil, about to do that right now. And then we'll disconnect the header from the exhaust, then maybe take it off here and pull this front section out. And then we pretty much just have the front motor mounts, and the whole trans should come out with the engine. And I've already taken the shifter out. Starter is disconnected. I'm leaving the engine harness with the engine because I am not going to need any of that with the new engine. It's a whole different setup. So you can see the fitting right there. Once I get the exhaust taken off and then the rear drive shaft, I'll probably push this outside, and then that way I can get the tractor with the bucket. Since I don't have a engine like hoist, the easiest way will be with the tractor. And I'll just push this out and be able to hook some chains up to it and then slide it right out and up. So that will be cool. And one thing I was noticing when I would drive, like this steering, this bushing right here, I'm not sure what kind of, but you can see how much movement's in there. That made quite a bit of noise driving down the road. So we'll have to address a lot of this stuff. Like the tie rods are just totally worn out. But I will probably be going to a heim joint steering like I have on my truck. So we'll probably not replace these. We'll probably just build the heim joint steering. And it's very simple. You just have one bar come straight across and then one bar straight across there. And I don't know if I'm going to keep the steering damper or not. I just haven't thought that far ahead. I'm really just planning on getting the engine out at this point. Well guys, I'm here doing some editing, and I lost some footage. I don't know how. I think I ran out of battery without realizing it on my time lapse or something. Something weird happened. I lost the footage of pulling the engine out of the Jeep. I can't believe that happened. I had it set up on the tripod and everything should have been working perfectly, and it wasn't. So I don't have the footage of me pulling out the engine with the tractor. So we're gonna cut to this next clip, which is also taken after the fact, and you'll get to see it without the engine in it. But the footage of taking it out and time-lapsing that, not gonna happen. Sorry about that. It is the next morning because I was going through the footage, and some of the video footage that I videoed of this, the mic was acting up and it sounded awful, very bad audio. So that's why I'm out here this morning. But this is it. We have got the engine and trans out. Obviously, these motor mounts here are gonna have to be cut off at the frame, and we are going to be either making our own motor mounts or buying some for the 4BT engine. They're about 250 bucks if I buy them pre-fabbed and everything, and they're like C-channel, so they slip and then you just weld inside outs like that. So that might be the route we go, just because of ease, and I can stick them on and pretty much place them wherever I want to. So that's probably what we'll end up doing. But I'm very excited. We are gonna have to tear down the interior as well. This roll cage is gonna be getting re-powder coated a different color. If you've seen my previous videos on this, I do mention it, but the theme of this build is going to be pretty cool. Very looking forward to that. So anyways, we will have to reinforce the frame, probably back where the transmission is, and then maybe again somewhere up here, although there is this main beam. But I'll probably just somewhere, once I figure out where the engine's sitting, then try to fab up some kind of cross brace. But the old trans engine is right over there. That is going to be getting picked up Saturday, which is in 2 days. So it's going to be done. We've got all this wiring, pretty much this big wiring harness can come out. So we'll get to all that in another video, but pretty much all this is getting cleaned up. Probably take these out because I'm not putting AC in this, but we do have the heater, so I am going to keep heat probably, but just get rid of the AC. This Jeep has a standalone AC unit. It's aftermarket, and it runs inside, so I may leave that in there to have AC. But these things never really did much anyways, in the sense of cooling AC and stuff like that. So anyways, we're coming along. I'm very excited. We're gonna rip the whole fuel lines out, and we're gonna be running bigger fuel lines. So anyways, I just wanted to add that this morning. The audio was horrible yesterday, so anyways, that will be that. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next upload. I'm out.